Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Bro Man Clash right here, and today, I want to talk about relationships. People always want to, relationships have always been like a mysterious, bond between two people or more people if you think about it, because, some of us have relationships as friends, family, soulmates, all that stuff. But yeah, at the same time, some people can taint the bond of relationship by thinking of it as, oh yeah, we're only friends because he has something that I want, or we're in a relationship because she just looks good instead of looking at her personality. You know what? Fuck it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Some females, I know some of y'all may say, like, why you say females instead of women? Well, let me put it like this: like, there's some males. We look at the trivial matters instead of looking at the character. And the reason why relationships don't usually work out nowadays because one, people brag about it, or they try to prove that, oh, we're not lonely. Oh, I have somebody. It's more about I than it is we. See the picture? And then two, there's no moral fiber right there, man. All it is just, oh yeah, I'm bragging about, yeah, just bragging about, oh, going out with my boyfriend, going out with my girlfriend. It's cool and all that crap, when it first happens to you, but after a while, it gets really stale to the point it becomes annoying. Then the third reason why some relationships don't work because either ideological differences or it's just because it becomes too stale. Like I said before, but it becomes stale over time as opposed to like a flower garden. See, you take time to make sure the flowers grow up. You put the fertilizer, put the dirt, put the seeds inside there, water it, sunshine, and then the flowers eventually die off. That happens, but their seeds disperse. That's the difference between a garden. See, look, I call this generation the microwave generation because the gardening generation, they had time. They took their time to make sure the flowers of their labors bloom. But our generation, we just prefer things to get there quick without taking time out to say, hey, look, man, wait a minute. This isn't going to work out. For two reasons only, because not only me and you don't get along, but two, you're only using me. And it becomes absolutely funny when it becomes like the topic of like being a nice guy or a nice woman, a nice girl and all that crap. And I remember I saw something before, like, oh, if you claim you're a nice guy, then that means you're narcissistic. I'm just like, wait, whoa, hold up now. Let me tell you something. If you're gonna go off and say, "Oh, I'm different than any other woman," especially when they heard the old, especially when some males, heard the old sob story over and over again, like been through relationships and all that crap. Like everybody goes through that. You know, women, males do the same thing too. Don't forget it. It goes both ways. And don't try to nitpick certain things and try to say, "Oh yeah, this guy, he has money, he has like a good body and all that crap, but his mind's not in the right place." And that would be the funniest thing. Like, they don't look at the mental, the character, the man in the mirror. They look at how he looks on the outside. They look at his effects. They look at the special effects, the sounding effects. Because he's a pretty good convincer, but at the same time, you don't get his inner workings. If you understand the inner workings, then you understand the man. But this generation, like I said before, is the microwave generation because this generation don't want to take time to, to cook, clean, grow, all that crap. Stuff that takes time. I don't understand that cooking and cleaning, growing, playing video games, that takes time as well, especially when you want to complete it. Now, how does this tie in, with relationships and, relationships nowadays? If you really think about it, relationships nowadays, they're too fast, they're not good, and they come rather too quickly. and then they go too quickly. They leave off a misunderstanding. They don't require communication, and then they say, "Oh, that takes too much effort." Maybe it takes too much effort to stand up and say, "Hey, look, man, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to do this because it goes against my morals." See, there's a difference between morals and religion. Well, if you see them going hand in hand, good. At least your beliefs will actually go with your morals. But to me, they're two different things. You know, like some people have their morals mixed up. They think, oh, doing bad, sneaking around is good, but if I get sneaked around on, it's bad for me. And, listening to that, it's kind of stupid. And it's just like, really? Okay, look, let me tell you something. And it goes to women as well. See, look, when you see a diamond, remember, it took time and pressure in order for it to shine. It doesn't come overnight. If you're looking at a rock, you may say this has potential, but you'd rather throw it away. Remember, there are see, a coal and a diamond have something in common. They both need pressure to form. And in some cases, they are like carbon based. Isn't that funny? Or if you want to correct me on that one. But you get the thing. You get what I'm trying to say. A diamond takes time to form. It doesn't form overnight. Just like cooking, it doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come over in a minute. And the same thing with relationships. Sure, he may look good on the outside, but did he take the time and process to become a man? Or did she take the time and process to become a woman? Because everything takes time. And if you forget that, then you're going to wind up creating the very same thing that got many people killed. Impatience, delusional grandeur, and another thing that you got to worry about is arrogance. I mean, everybody had their arrogant streak. I'm not gonna lie. Same thing happened to me. But at the same time, you have to remember that relationships are fragile, just like life itself. It can break off at an instant, or it can last long, as long as you do what is necessary to take care of it. But all of us, we have our flaws. We have pleasures of the flesh. Some of us are more uncontrollable than others. Not me, at least. But then, when it comes right down to it, people will go back to what hurt them to find out why did it hurt them in the first place. And how's this tying with relationships? Because it ties in with relationships because the first thing about relationships, it starts with the person. Meaning that it starts with you. It starts with me. Remember that. Everything starts with one person. Then if two people get involved, which is just you and the person that you want to have a connection with, and sometimes the connection doesn't have to be intimate. It could be like friendships. It could be like companionship. And it could be, just overall like a workers what's that word I'm looking for? Oh, workers, like a working relationship. Like you go into the field or you go into your job and then you have that kind of relationship where you help each other out on a working basis as opposed to being like on a more intimate basis, like marriage, having kids, procreation, sex, like that. Now, those type of relationships, they don't take time. See, look, some relationships don't take time at all, but they are formed over time. But it's kind of funny that people would rather look at relationships and say, "Oh yeah, who needs relationships? Oh man, I don't need to be with a man, or I don't need to be with a woman because man, I know how to take care of myself," which is good. It's good to know that you know how to take care of yourself, but you have to remember You came here from two people, a man and a woman. And no, I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is condemning homosexuality. That's not the thing. If you get what I'm trying to say, then you would see that, that rhyme based on, it takes two to make things go right. It takes two to make things out of sight. Remember that line. It takes two to make things go right. It takes two people. Sometimes you need an outside perspective to understand what you are doing wrong on the outside, and sometimes on the inside. But majority of inside battles deal with you. Now you may ask, like, how does this tie in with relationships? Because relationships do not form overnight, nor they are flawless. And this is a very big thing that I've noticed with relationships nowadays. They are not formed through expectation. They are formed through, just telling it how it is. And if you don't like it, then crap, you can just leave. That's simple. But people are acting as if like, oh, I don't want to get into a relationship. Relationships, they take too much time and, it takes too much effort. Then don't complain why you're going to be so lonely. And the thing that really makes me laugh, I mean, legitimately makes me laugh, when I see people who complain about, oh, this men are nothing but dogs. Oh, women ain't shit. Women are bitches and all that crap, man. And then I just have to look at that and laugh, and I just say like, wow. So you mean to tell me that because of your bad relationship, you're gonna look at everybody else the same way? Okay, cool, cool. Now, one thing I will say is this: be careful on who you fuck over, because if you fuck over the wrong person, that might be the end we'll hear of you. And as dark as that sounds, that's true. Some people would rather go around playing with people's hearts. But you gotta remember, if you don't like it when your heart's getting played with, what makes you think that other people will love it? Crap, it's a learning experience, which is true. But at the same time, it gets you thinking like, wait a minute, hold up. You mean to tell me that I have to convert myself in order to show you that I love you? But yet you love me as the man that I am. Why do you want me to convert in order to show my love? See, now it's funny too. Guys nowadays, like some of the guys that I've noticed, like they have like little flings. They have like side chicks, as they would call it, and the female version, side guys. And it's kind of funny because they can't handle polygamy. They can't. If you want multiple partners, then shit, then be it. Just say, oh yeah, I have like another partner with me. Yes, another intimate partner. And I will show it to you. Or I will show him to you. And if y'all both agree that y'all love me, then cool, we can kick it. Isn't it just simple enough just to say, hey, look, I'm already involved with somebody? Instead of saying it with arrogance, just say like, hey, look, I'm already involved with somebody. And another thing too, do not lie. Say it with honesty, with integrity intact. Just say, I'm involved with somebody. As much as I can sense that, you have a deep attraction towards me, hey, if things don't work out with me and this person, I'll come find you. But if you find somebody else that you're happy with, that's good. Isn't it just too hard to say that? It's not that hard. The two things that, like I said before, there were two things, expectations and, arrogance. But there's also a third thing, pride. Too many people have too much pride. And it's kind of sad too, because when you look at people who have, too much pride, but not enough humility to say, hey, look, this is where I stand. If you don't agree with me, then I can understand you just don't agree with me. But we marching on our high horse, and then once we get knocked off, we see what the hell other people are talking about or dealing with. And how's this time with relationships? The reason why this ties in with relationships because it starts with you. It starts with the person. You can either create a relationship, both negative and positive, or you can end a relationship, both negative and positive. But remember this, relationships take time. They don't come overnight. They're like a diamond. Diamonds do not form overnight. They take either, like hundreds of years to even a century to form. Some of them at least. Some could take like years, probably like 10 or 20 years, who knows. But you get what I'm trying to say. Things like diamonds, things like, emeralds, all that stuff, man. Everything takes time. Just like relationships, they take time. You can't just look at relationships and then just say, oh, relationships ain't shit. I don't want to get involved in no damn woman. Or if a woman says, man, relationships ain't shit. I ain't getting involved with no damn man. I'm just like, yo, man, nobody want to hear that. That shit is corny. Coming from me saying corny, that's something else. But it's just like, man, really? It's stupid. You're willing to stop a relationship just because it didn't meet your expectations. See, look, I'm not trying to say decrease your expectations or heighten your expectations, but be a realist. Nobody's perfect. That's all I'm trying to say. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's shameless. Nobody's flawless. Everybody's got their own, their own vices, which is beautiful because they can handle it themselves. But then, we're the microwave generation. We expect everything to come at an instant. But remember, microwaves are nothing more than just radiated chemicals, which we're so used to. We gotta learn how to take things the old school way. As much as I don't like the old school, but it does teach you valuable lessons such as patience, integrity, and kindness. And with that, YouTube, I say this is Broman Clash, signing out one. Hope you have a great day today. Later.